University of Utah head coach Lynn Roberts and players Kennedy McQueen and Alyssa Peely. Opening comments, Coach?
Yes, thank you. I do want to say South Dakota State is good, impressively good, and I think just so much respect for them. It is so hard to win your league year in and year out and go the way that they do it. Undefeated in conference and then to roll through your conference tournament. That's hard. And so hats off to them. I think they're a tremendous program, not just a good team this year, but just a great program. I thought they battled hard. And, the thing that I said at my press conference, whenever that was yesterday, it doesn't matter the score. They play the same way, and I think you saw that tonight. We went up big in the first quarter, and they did never quit. They never hung their heads, and that's a sign of a good team. So congratulations to them on a great season. I'm proud of our team. It is never easy in the NCAA tournament to get a win. Tonight was not easy. We never could get very comfortable. They had us scouted pretty well, and I think we just made plays when we needed to. That second quarter was less than impressive on our part offensively, but what a great third quarter out of halftime to score 26 and kind of take control. I thought Kennedy McQueen was phenomenal tonight. 6 assists, no turnovers, 17 points, just tremendous. And Alyssa, it's hard. The amount of pressure she has, not just off the court, which there is that too, but the way she gets swarmed and the physical and all of that, she garners so much attention and she handles it. So she had a good game, and Jenna Johnson did her job. She always does. She defended. Brooklyn Myers is tough. She's tough to guard, and Jenna took 2 or 3 charges on her. So overall, great team win. It's not easy, and I'm happy to be moving on.
Thank you. We'll take questions for the student athletes, please. Give your name and affiliation when you ask a question.
Darren Wallace, Midco Sports. Alyssa, kind of coach already talked about it. The different looks that South Dakota State sent at you, but it never really seemed like you were really rattled. Either you got a tough bucket or you're able to find somebody open. How are you able to work through the different defensive schemes that they were sending at you tonight?
I think, throughout the whole season, a lot of teams have just guarded me in different ways. And so I think the main thing for me is just to stay poised and to try to just take what the defense gives me. And I've just gotten better at that over time. And as we've played more games and just had more different looks with defenses and things like that. So, I don't know, it comes with the experience, I think, just to know how to handle that.
Kennedy, Coach, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
It's a delay mic, kind of. So.
Oh, okay. There we go. Kennedy, Coach kind of talked about it, that, your performance tonight was really solid, but I felt like you were especially good when, your team needed a bucket, that second quarter. They obviously go on that big run, but then in the second half, I feel like you kind of got some easy buckets for everyone else, including yourself. What was your mentality going into that second half after the run that South Dakota State went on in that second quarter?
Yeah, we talked about at halftime just throwing the first punch. Coach said once you get to the NCAA tournament, no game's easy. Whether you're the higher seed or not, everybody's going to keep playing until that final buzzer goes off. So it's just throwing the first punch and getting back to Utah basketball. I think that second quarter we kind of got away from what we're good at. So it's just getting that back on track, and then that just makes things easy for us on offense.
The bank shot, was it luck or skill?
She called it.
Skill.
I was right there.
Bank was open.
Hi guys, Ian Sachs from Caroline Sports in South Dakota. What's the most difficult part about playing this South Dakota team?
I would say just how consistently hard they work. Every possession they made us work for things. They tried to take away what we were good at, and then them on offense, you just have to pick your poison. They have shooters. They have a great inside presence. So just props to them. They played excellent. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, to go off of that, I think they're just very, they play very hard. And like Coach was saying, we threw punches and they weren't going away. They didn't hang their heads or anything. They just kept coming back. And so I mean, that's just a mentality thing, I think, and a tough team. And so, you know, when teams are mentally tough, I think it makes them a good team and a hard team to play.
Alyssa, what do you feel like you guys got away from in the second quarter? You had that scoring drought and sort of let them back in the game there.
I think just playing like our style of basketball, just moving the ball and, you know, kind of just honing in on, you know, setting good screens and, you know, we're kind of just going through the motions and just taking quick shots when we knew that if we just moved the ball, we could get better shots. And I think we got back to that later in the game.
Any more questions for the student athletes? We have one Zoom call. I don't know if it's for student athletes or coach, but if we could get TSN Sports Center. TSN Sports Center. Okay, student athletes, you're dismissed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For the media, if you haven't already heard, Monday's championship game between Utah and Gonzaga will tip off at 7:30 p.m. We'll open it now for questions for Coach.
Lynn, you talked about Jenna's impact tonight, but I just wanted to go back to that. The impact that it is to be able to draw those charges that she did. Just how important was that, especially tonight, to be able to do that early?
Yeah, that was huge. And she's done that all season. She has a knack for sliding her feet, getting in front, and taking the hit. And that was big. I think Meyer got her second foul with like 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. And so, you know, that's happened to us with Peely before, and it kind of makes your whole offense, you know, you kind of hiccup a little bit when your leading scorer, inside present, is out for that amount of time. So, you know, Jenna has, I don't know how many charges she's taken on the year, probably close to 40 or something. So maybe more. I don't know. It seems like a lot, but that is a skill and it's a talent, and it is such a value add to a team, and it doesn't really show up in the stats, and it's a huge component to winning.
And just that second half, what can you say about the response that you saw from your team to be able to come out after such a difficult second quarter, to come out and do what they did?
Difficult. That's a positive word for it. Yeah, I mean, at halftime, it wasn't like we were screaming and yelling or anything. It was just like, guys, we have to move the ball. Like, our offense is predicated on pace and space and tempo, and we just kind of got away from that. And so it's like, let's go back to what we talked about and what we prepared for, and made a couple adjustments with what they were doing defensively. And you know, with Alyssa, it's really hard. You have to give it to her where she can catch it and just go right up, because anytime she has to do a move, it's just a swarm, right? So we tried to run some stuff where there was more space for her, and it was just kind of catch, bang, bang, finish, which was helpful. And then again, I think Kennedy, you know, brought some swagger out there, confidence-wise, in scoring.
Lynn, you probably talk about Alyssa so often and so many things that she does for you. Is there a piece of her game that you feel like over these years has been overlooked or gets underrated for everything that she does out there for you guys?
I think, you know, she's undersized, and I mean, people have talked about that, but her ability to get to somebody's body and be able to get her shot off, you know, she's got incredible touch off the backboard. But for her to be, you know, we list her at 6'2". I don't think she's maybe 6 foot, right? But for her to get shots off in traffic, just the power that she has, but combined with the kind of grace and touch. But it starts with footwork, and then it finishes with, you know, she's just got incredible hands, the best hands that I've coached in terms of what she can catch and how she can finish.
Coach, Alyssa kind of talked about what maybe you guys got away from, but was there anything that maybe you feel like South Dakota State was able to do to maybe force you into some of the difficulties you had in that second quarter?
Yeah, they did a great job of, defensively they're just sound. And, driving lanes that are sometimes there, they were clogging it up and shrinking the floor a little bit. And then again, the stuff that we run for Peely just wasn't working. So obviously they had scouted that, and they did a great job. So I think they kind of they were prepared, for lack of a better word. And then they just kind of have that blue collar toughness that they never go away. So I would say that, we're a really good offensive rebounding team, and we had 4. And I was hammering on that in timeouts and at halftime. We had 1 at halftime. But they boxed out for 40 minutes. Like they're just tough.
Any more questions for Coach? Okay, thank you.
All right, I appreciate you guys being here. See you tomorrow. That's right. Thank you.
Tomorrow's schedule, the media workroom will be open from 10:30 to 5.